Hello, my name is Paulina Espejel and I'm going to talk about the Cold War. It all begins in 1947. What does the term Cold War means? It all started because of the World War II. USA and URSS, that now is Russia, began to fight against power by deciding who is the leadership, who is best, communism versus capitalism. Communism was the URS and USA was the capitalism. They began to start a war by creating weapons and army. But these weapons get a high cost. They only use them for gain power, not to use them specifically. The URSS began to lose money a lot creating weapons, so that's why they decay. The USA finally get victorious and was considered the first most powerful country. Capitalism versus communism. Capitalism is an economic system in which trade, industry, and that means of production are largely or entirely privately owned and operate for profit. Central characteristics of capitalism include capital accumulation, competitive markets, and wage labor. In capitalism economy, the parties to transaction typically determine the prices at which assets, goods, and services are exchanged. The main characters in capitalism were Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Socialism is a social and economic system characterized by social ownership of the means of production and cooperative management of the economy, as well as political theory of movement that aims at the establishment of such a system. Social ownership may refer to cooperative enterprises, common ownership, state ownership, citizen ownership of equity, or any combination of these. The principal character of the socialism was Henry de Simon, considered the father of the idea of the socialism. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Uh, I, I will ask you a few questions about the Cold War of the period of 1945, the World War II, and you will answer me if you can.
Let me see if I can remember what happened in that years.
What countries were the world leaders during this period?
I remember that these were United States and Russia, that in the past was called URSS.
Okay, why did countries who were allies during the wars become enemies afterwards? I'm talking about like France and Russia or United States were supposed to be allies against Hitler.
Well, I think because they wanted to feel more power than the others. I think that seeing the Second War, they saw that there were countries that can be danger if they have a lot of weapons. So I think that United States decided to be the most greatest country that will have the most and modern weapons. But I think that Russia also think the same. So they started to build new weapons.
Okay, where did the Cold War take place?
I don't remember there was a place where this war take place. Just I remember that it was called Cold War because never was a real war. It just was the war of who of the two countries build more weapons and more powerful weapons.
What opinion did the general public have of the Cold War?
Well, I think that most of the people think that it was a stupid war that just wanted to raise the ego of each country just to demonstrate that they were more powerful than others. And this war didn't take to any place. Um, just waste a lot of money trying to 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 scare the other country. But in spite of this, I thought the United States finally won that war because Russia couldn't compete with the the money USA have. So it takes Russia to to the con to it takes Russia the calm down its economy.
Okay. What type of weapons did the two war powers have at their disposal?
Well, I think they have bombs, obviously nuclear weapons, sophisticated airplanes, and tanks, even ships, um, submarines, power of submarines. But like missiles, I thought that they started to build missiles for the long distance. It was an effective way for the war. I think this was the kind of weapons they built.
Okay, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.